as we discussed it like yesterday, if we want to make the page more stylish, more attractive using CSS, we have to use a number of properties there. The more stylish you want to present the page, we have to use more number of properties. Plenty of properties, they are available in CSS. So that's why to avoid that heavy coding, at the same time to make the page more attractive, more effective. Front end side, there are plenty of frameworks in that also. So, like some of the popular frameworks that are available are like we have Bootstrap is one framework. Next we have jQuery UI. It's a library. jQuery UI is a framework. It's not a library. Then we have like semantic UI. So this is one thing provided. Next we have like Tailwind CSS. ఏమా బాగా బిజీగా ఉన్నావు మొబైల్లో కూర్చోవచ్చు బయట కూర్చొని కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు సో లైక్ దట్ యూ కెన్ హ్యావ్ ప్లెంటీ ఆఫ్ ఫ్రేమ్వర్క్స్ ప్రొవైడ్ అంటే సో జనరల్లీ ఇన్ ఫ్రంట్ ఎండ్ డిజైనింగ్ we use the terms like library, framework, like that. So what is the difference when you go for programming like Java, PHP, Python, like that? They will use some terminology like languages, technologies, frameworks. There will use something. Front end side, we have two type of softwares available. One is a library, second one is a framework. So what's the difference between them? What is a library? What is a framework? Means library means the entire product was built using single tool. So we call it library. Framework, it was built as a combination of more than one tool. So we call it a framework. Like these are called frameworks. Why? Because particularly when we take Bootstrap, it is a CSS and JavaScript based framework. Means this Bootstrap library, it includes CSS libraries and JavaScript libraries. Script for any processing or animations like that, CSS for styling. Similarly, when we take jQuery, jQuery is there, we have jQuery UI is there. When we take jQuery, it is a library. Why? Because it is a library means this was completely built using JavaScript. It was completely built using JavaScript. While when we take jQuery UI, it's a combination of JavaScript and CSS. It's a combination of JavaScript and CSS. Like we call them libraries. Like the best examples for libraries here are jQuery, React.js. React.js is also a library completely built using JavaScript. Then we have like Vue.js. These also a library purely built in JavaScript. But when we take again like Angular, it's a framework. Angular, it's a framework. Why? Because it uses combination of not we can say like JavaScript, TypeScript. TypeScript and HTML based framework. So that's what the difference between a library and framework lies. So to make this design more effective, to make this design more attractive, so there are plenty of frameworks available in the market. Now, one of the such framework that is provided here, it is Bootstrap. So what is Bootstrap? What we can say is, we can say Bootstrap as it's a open source, lightweight. It is an open source, lightweight front-end framework used for building what? Responsive web pages. This is what the word we have to remember regarding Bootstrap. Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS or Semantic UI, whatever the frameworks we have, they are used to design responsive web pages. Okay, we will see what is a responsive page later. First, when we see it's an open source framework. What is the meaning of open source? So, when we take generally softwares, we can classify them into two types. They are open source softwares, and the second one, licensed softwares or commercial softwares. Open source in the sense, these products, they are available free of cost. No need to purchase them. These products, they are available free of cost. Licensed softwares means they are commercial, we have to purchase them. They are commercial, we have to purchase. Like for example, when we take operating systems, so we have Unix, Linux, so these are open source. And here commercial, when we take like Microsoft Windows, Apple Macintosh, okay, they are commercial softwares. And when we take programming language, like programming language, Java, Python, PHP, JavaScript, many things are there, are like that. And here when we take programming language, not we can say programming language like .NET. AWS is not a programming language. So AWS is not a programming language. It is a web service provider. Okay, na? So .NET framework. It's a commercial product we have to purchase. Then when we take like databases like MySQL, okay, SQLite. So we have like PostgreSQL. This is one of the most popular one. So these type of softwares, they are open source. But when we take commercial databases, Oracle, okay, like MS SQL or SQL Server, we call it, these are commercial products. Okay, what is the thing here is, like for example, I want to build an application. I want to build an application like, now tell me, is there any difference between application versus project? So software programmers, we said, I'm working on some project or I'm working on some application. That is also you can call it application. Supermarket, hotel, hospital. That is also an application. It is a developing one and the application is a development. A developed version of the project will be turned into an application, but while creating it, it will be called as a project. So application purely it represents a software. Project means any work done on particular time and cost estimates. We call it a project. So software project means in that project they are building applications. Like for example, a house is to be constructed. You can call it a project. How much time it will take, how much cost it will take, how much manpower it will take, like that. A satellite is to be launched. It's a project. From construction to launching the product, so how much it will take. Like anything we call them like projects, dams, whatever they are. Any work done in based on some time and cost estimates, we call it a project. Application purely software. Okay, even software projects we call them. Software projects we call them. They say like I'm on a project. I'm on a software project. To build this software, how much time it will take, how much cost it will take, how many personnel, employees are required, everything will make that estimation. So here you got some project there. This project, suppose I'm using some licensed software. Okay, like for example, you got a project where you are asked to build .NET. .NET is one of the widely used software after Java. For building the applications, .NET is one of the many people won't, like nowadays they don't know this .NET. But earlier, .NET and Java, these are the softwares which are widely used in programming. Nowadays also, after Java, many organizations prefer .NET. But what is the problem is, if you want to build a project with the .NET, you need an operating system. Operating system means, so you have to use Windows. You need a database. So .NET uses MS SQL, SQL Server, and you are using the .NET framework. These are all commercial products. Commercial products means what? Initial investment is very high here. Just to assume what is the cost of MS Office? What is the cost of MS Office? Original product. It costs lakhs. Okay, lakhs. Almost several years back, I heard for some organization they are purchasing original MS Office for their employees. 10 lakhs they have charged. Oracle, like that same organization, they want to install. Like here, everything we have like only what we call pirated softwares. But when you take IT organizations, purely they have to use commercial products. So Oracle, 25 to 50 lakhs it will be. They are very expensive. And not only that, suppose you want to learn Python from official website. You want to learn Java from official website. They will charge many lakhs there. Okay, per hour you have to pay some thousands. So that's what they think. So when you are using these type of tools for building the project, so you have to install operating system, you have to purchase it. Database, you have to purchase it. Software, you have to purchase it. So almost you have to invest crores of rupees there. Apart from employee salaries, apart from the network or the hardware environment you are creating lab or something, apart from cabins and everything, for only softwares you have to invest crores. That's why nowadays many people why they are what they are doing, they are going for open source softwares, operating systems. So they used to prefer what? Unix or Linux. Mostly in our laptops we have Windows. Some people they are using Mac, Macintosh. But when you take government organizations or like software organizations, like many private organizations, either Unix or Linux they prefer. Not only they are free of cost, but they are most powerful softwares. The best OS in the world, no doubt about that, it is Linux. Unix, Linux, both are same. But Unix is character user interface. Linux while using graphical user interface, icons and everything will be there. Unix is something like a character user interface like this. Everything you have to type in the form of commands like this. So that's what the difference. So when you are using like open source softwares, operating system they will install Unix or Linux. Programming they will use Java, JavaScript or PHP or something. Databases if they go for that. So these all initial investments they can save. Initial investments they can save. So that's what exactly here. So what is Bootstrap? Means simply in single line. Bootstrap we can say like it's an open source. Second one, it's a lightweight software. What is the meaning of lightweight? Means this product consumes very limited resources. This product consumes very few resources. Like Python is a lightweight language. If you install Python, almost how much memory it will occupy? Some 50 MB or 100 MB. But you go for Java, almost 300 MB it will occupy. If you go for latest .NET framework, it needs at least 25 GB of hard disk space. A very huge softwares they are. So when the product is huge, what is the problem? It consumes more memory space. It consumes more processing time. Like that, many things it will have. But lightweight product means it will use limited memory. So it will use limited CPU time. Just with a few resources you can run. So that's why we call it a lightweight product. And not only that, it is a front-end framework, particularly for UID, user interface design. To create that front-end applications, Bootstrap is used. It is used for building responsive web pages. So what is the meaning of this responsive web pages? When we see here, actually when you take uh, until 2000 or even 2010 at that time also, websites means mostly they will be run on computers. Earlier, you take any website, they will be run on computers. But later what happened? Computers means earlier you have desktops only. But later we have laptops provided. Okay, laptop or desktop, no difference, no much difference in the screen size. But later they introduced some other devices like mini laptops came. Later we have like tablets came. And now we have these mobile smartphone came. So when we take these type of devices, so desktops means large desktops or laptops, mini laptops, tabs or mobiles. Every device, it will have a different width. Every device will have a different width. You see the width of this laptop and you see the same in your mobile. So laptop means just I will see. So what is the width of my or what is the size of my laptop when we see the screen resolution? 1920 by 1080. So what is this 1920 by 1080? So this is generally a resolution of large PC. This is generally a resolution of large PC we call it. So, okay, this is the resolution of a large PC. So what it means 1920 by 1080. So number of pixels. So this screen is 9020 pixels width, 1080 pixels height. So the width and height resolution we can write like this. Now, different devices they will have different screen widths. Previous days, what happens? Because these type of devices, the resolutions are very small. Because the width of the devices are different, very small, it is possible to view websites on computers only, not on mini laptops or not on tabs or mobiles. But nowadays, it is possible to visit websites on even tabs we can see them, mobiles we can see them, mini laptops we can see them. So how it is possible? Because that is what the purpose of responsive web design. What is the meaning of responsive web designing? Means the content, whatever we are printing, the content will be adjusted according to the device width. The content will be adjusted according to the device width. Like for example, suppose just you open some website. Not right now, just you can open some website. That website, you try to open it in your PC. The same website you try to open in your mobile. Like for example, just have connected to like w3schools.com. This is a website. This website, how it appears in my laptop, in my desktop, it may not have the same presentation. It may not have the same presentation. Suppose I have written something like I have selected C tutorial. So these web pages, they will display in one way in my laptop and the same pages will display differently in my mobile. So that is what the difference. Any page you take, like even news related websites you take, enadu.net or whatever it is, so you will have a different appearance. Why? Because the content is displayed according to the screen width. So that is what exactly Bootstrap. So why particularly we have to use Bootstrap? Why particularly we have to use Bootstrap? The first thing, it is simple. Actually, if we want to write any styles or something in CSS, we have to write all the selectors. ID selector, class selector, element selector, whatever they are, we have to use all selectors. But in this front-end frameworks, whether it is Bootstrap or Tailwind CSS or something like, they have created already some built-in selectors for us. Those selectors directly we can use in our code. Whatever the selectors they have created, those selectors directly we can use in our code. So that's why these they are easy to learn and code. These are easy to learn and code. That's what the main thing. Everything you are not going to write there. That's what in the demo of Python I told you. That's what in the demo of Python we discussed. So just now I said many organizations First option for building the applications, .NET, Java. Otherwise, they can use a .NET framework. Even nowadays, you have you might have heard like mean stack, mun stack, where the entire project can be built using pure JavaScript. So definitely these are very powerful languages than Python. No doubt about that. There may be hundreds of languages available, but always the world's best language, no doubt about that. But still why people are preferring Python? But still why people are preferring some other language? So what they said, so Python programmatically it uses less code. That's what they think. That's what they think about Python. Suppose to build an application in Java, if I have used like 100 lines of code, the same product, if I try to build in Python, I can complete with what? 30 to 40 lines of code. That's what. So why it is using less number of code? Because the reason is Python has provided number of built-in libraries. Number of built-in libraries. That day I shown you. If I want to factorial of a given number, whether it is C or C++ or JavaScript or any programming language, we have to write the logic manually. Okay, how to calculate factorial of that number? We have to write the logic there programmatically. That's it. But how many can remember this code? How many can remember this code? So out of 100, so max 5, right? So that's why what Python did. If you have such a type of logics, no problem. I'll provide you a library called math. In this math, so we provide a function called factorial. Any number you give, I will give you the factorial. When such built-in code is available, programming will become more easier. So that's what Bootstrap has done. So Bootstrap, it has provided plenty of built-in code which we can directly use in our application. That's why we are preferring Bootstrap. One more advantage here is browser compatibility. So this Bootstrap code, it can run on all type of browsers. Browser compatibility, this code can run on all type of browsers. Previously, when you see, particularly like some government websites or something, clearly they will write there. This page can be best viewed on so and so browser. Chrome, this version, Firefox, this version. Like that they used to write. But now that is not the case. Whatever may be the browser, whatever may be the version, will display the same style, same way. So that browser compatibility will be there. Next, why we are preferring Bootstrap? Just now we said it is to create responsible web pages. So responsible web page designing, that is what the advantage Bootstrap has. Like that, there are several reasons available. There are several reasons available why we are using Bootstrap. The main thing here is Bootstrap provides more look and feel, more look and feel components. Okay, now more look and feel components and controls. If you want to work with forms, if you want to work with the tables, if you want to work with images, lists, whatever they are, nav bars, whatever they are. So plenty of look and feel components Bootstrap has provided. Number of properties are given. So that's one of the reason why particularly we will use Bootstrap. Then how to use this Bootstrap? Okay, now I want to use Bootstrap here. How to use Bootstrap? So this Bootstrap, generally Bootstrap, jQuery library, Tailwind CSS. These libraries, we call them CDNs. Okay, now these libraries, we call them CDNs. What is CDN means? It stands for like Content Delivery Network. CDN, what it stands for? Content Delivery Network. So Bootstrap, so it is providing a CDN or a library called Content Delivery Network here. And that library we can use in our pages. So how to use this library? So how to use this library? Two things. One is install the product and we can use. Installing the CDN. This is one way how we can use this. The second one is linking the CDN. Linking the CDN inside our HTML pages. Just we can link the CDN inside our HTML pages. Like we have the tag linked relative equal to style sheet, like that. Just we can link it. Now let's see here. I'll show you. Just I will type here my show. The official website of this Bootstrap is this one, getbootstrap.com. Getbootstrap.com. It is the official website. Now you can see. Build fast and responsive websites with Bootstrap. So that is one more advantage we have. That is one more advantage we have. So what we can say, simple and faster design. Why faster? Because we have the built-in libraries available. You are not going to write each and everything. Because built-in library is available, it is faster. So it is a powerful, extensible feature-packed front-end toolkit. So built and customized using different tools. So whatever they are like. So how to get it? One is installing. This option I will show when you are working with React. When we are working with React, this option I will show by installing the software called Node.js. By installing the software called Node.js, there it provides a tool called NPM, Node Package Manager. Using this tool, we can install the product. So that library we can store locally and we can access it. Otherwise, what we can do, just we can have the things. So we can have the URL directly there. Now you can see quick start. The first one is when you say download. You can download it and you can get. Otherwise, this is what the CDNs we have. So these are the links they will provide. By using these links, we can work with Bootstrap. So two ways how we can do. One is downloading and installing the CDN. Second one is linking the CDN inside our HTML pages. But we are going with this only. Okay, now second option, linking. The first option I will show when you are working with React.js. So like how we can do. So here you can find here docs where you can have documentation. Quick start option you can have there. So how to start everything they will show you. And even they will show different versions of Bootstrap. Currently we have 5.3 provided. These are the other versions. If you want to have some stable version, 4.6. These are stable. No much difference will be there. No much difference will be there. We can have the stable version. You can see. So there is a CSS library provided. There is some JavaScript libraries provided. These libraries we can link there. Otherwise, you can see starter template they have provided. Just say copy, copy the template. A sample template they will give, and you can just insert it into the page. So Bootstrap, like when we see, so in the header part, this is the Bootstrap CSS file. They have provided some CSS file there. Next, otherwise, so these two script files we can use. Otherwise, they have provided second option also. Anything we can use. That's a Bootstrap library there. Just download and you can work. The best thing we can see here, instead of official website, we can get the information easily from W3 schools. Okay, so front end designing means we can get the options easily here. Now you can see W3 schools, Bootstrap, I will go. Here they will provide three types of versions. What are they? Bootstrap 3, 4, 5. 5 is the latest version. 4 is a stable version, still it is working. This is the older version. Suppose I selected Bootstrap 4. I selected Bootstrap 4. Just scroll down. Any page you go, just scroll down. Now you can see this is responsive pages. The first one is the PC. Second one is the tab. Third one is the mobile. Just see the content in the PC that is in the background. My first Bootstrap page, some text is there, and three columns of text. In tab also, my first Bootstrap page with three columns. No, of course font, but the thing is, when coming to mobile, what happened? That content was not fit in the mobile. So the three columns which were displayed like this, they are displayed one after the other. In the third image that is mobile, they are displayed. So that's why I told you. The website, you just open it in desktop. The same website you just open in your mobile. Definitely we can observe the difference. Because this much content cannot fit there. It will go line by line. So how it is going like that, we will see. So just scroll down here. Just scroll down here. Try it yourself. Just select one example. No need to work with the entire thing. So just what I will do here. Okay, I have copied the code. Just I have copied the code and then I have pasted it. Just I copied the code and I have pasted it. Now let's see. Okay. So what you do, you modify the code according to your requirements. They have given some sample template. You modify the code as per your requirements. So this is what the template provided by Bootstrap. Bootstrap, it was completely created according to HTML5 standard. HTML5 standard means doc type HTML declaration. Of course, it is optional. HTML language equal to English, it's also optional. But these two things are mandatory. Which character set we are using? UTF-8. If you have ever worked with the C programming language, in C we used to say, what character set is supported by C? Which character set is supported by C language? In that character set, every character, they have provided almost 256 characters. Every character is assigned a unique value. Like in that character set, when we take, so capital A, they have assigned the value 65, capital B 66. Like that, capital letters are assigned the value from 65 to 90. Small letters they have assigned from 97 to 122. So what is that? Not heard? ASCII character set. We call them ASCII values. American Standard Code for Information Interchange. So that nowadays they are calling it UTF-8. UTF-8 means mostly English characters will be there, Latin symbols will be there, Greek alphabets will be there, and some special symbols like dollar at the rate, something like that. Now, this particular statements, meta tags I told you. Meta tags, they provide information about our web page. This meta tag specifies that your page is using the UTF-8 character set. That is ASCII. And this meta tags includes that you are creating responsive web page. This tag indicates that you are creating responsive web page. So that's why meta name equal to viewport. Viewport means what? Your screen. Okay, now your screen, monitor. Content, how the content is fit, width equal to device width. So how much device width you have, the page will fit according to that width. It will not go beyond or some. So initial scale 1 means 100% it will take. So these two tags, of course, the first tag is optional, but this tag is mandatory for Bootstrap. This tag is mandatory for Bootstrap. And here, Bootstrap mainly it uses four libraries. What are they? First one, it is a CSS file. Bootstrap uses the first library, that's a CSS file. You can see cdn.jsdeliver.net. Any front-end related libraries you can download from this site, whether it is React or Bootstrap or Semantic UI, Tailwind CSS, any front-end libraries you can get from here. So Bootstrap at the rate, which version we are using? 4.6.2. It contains a version there. Next, we have the file here. What is that? Bootstrap.min.css. You will get the files in two ways. Bootstrap.css, bootstrap.min.css. What is the difference means? Min.css means it's a compressed version. So it will compress the content and it will provide. Bootstrap.css, it is an uncompressed version. Okay. Bootstrap.min.css compressed version. If we are not using min, it's an uncompressed version. Next, Bootstrap uses jQuery library also. Because jQuery, I told you, jQuery provides some effects and animations. Such type of animations purpose, it is using jQuery. Like how I will show you. Like just you type jQuery. Sliding effects, fading effects, different type of effects jQuery will provide. Like for example, you can see hide and show. I selected this page. So here they have displayed some panel. Click it. So still it is loading. Okay, now you can see some content. Again, click it. Hidden. So that's what we call animations. Fading effects. Generally, when you see clocks, you will have that fading effects we say. Gradually, it will become like fade in, fade out. You can, in fading, you can give percentage, how much fading you want. Transparency we can. Hide, you don't have the transparency. Completely it will be hidden. But in fading effects, I can give 50% fading or 75%. How much transparency is there? I can. Like you can see like slide effects. Sliding means just like this. Movie theaters, how the screen will slide there. Slide up, slide down. Okay. That sliding effects we can have. Animation effects. Like that for different purposes. Effects and animations purpose. Effects and animations purpose, they use this library called jQuery. Of course, it's a simple library. Which methods available, how to use those methods, if you know, you can implement it using poppermin.js. This is generally used for menus and some things. Menus and some things, it will use it. And Bootstrap, it provides its own JavaScript file. Bootstrap bundle.min.js. Min means what? Minified version, compressed version you can. So these are the four different libraries that are provided, that are used by Bootstrap. So that when you run, now you can have the library like this. The output was displayed like. Okay, let's try to reduce the size here. You can see automatically it is adjusting there. Okay, the content is adjusted according to screen width. So it is not going to crop any data. It is not going to like clip any data. According to the device width, the content will be presented. So that is what exactly we call responsive web page design. That's what exactly we call response web page designing. That's what exactly here we can say. So just we can have a okay na? Now we can see. Bootstrap is a free open source front-end framework for fast and easier web development. It includes HTML and CSS based design templates for many things. You can work with forms, buttons. Typography means text. Actually, this is Bootstrap design, whatever you are seeing here. This site, background, it is using Bootstrap. Tables, navigation, many things they have provided. Typography means text, how you are going to present the text. Headings, font settings, like that. That's what we call typography. I'll show once we go. So this is what responsive web designing. So it is about creating websites which automatically adjust themselves to look good on all devices, from smartphone to large desktops. So for that, what actually Bootstrap does means it uses something called grid system. Bootstrap actually it uses something called grid system. In that grid system, not only Bootstrap, when you take Tailwind, CSS, Semantic UI, anything, what they do is your total web page, they will divide into 12 columns. Now you can see my desktop, it is grid system. But in that grid system, these icons are placed. All the icons, they are placed in 3 columns. So this desktop, it is divided into grids, set of columns. In each column, the contents are arranged like. So Bootstrap, Tailwind CSS, or Semantic UI, whatever the front-end frameworks we do, first they will divide our screen into columns like this. Inside that, you can place the content. So 12 columns you have given. Suppose among these 12 columns, if it is a larger desktop or a normal PC, it will display all columns. But when you take mobile device, what happens? These 12 columns cannot fit there. So how many columns it will fit? It will keep there and the remaining automatically go to new line. Because of that, you are not going to lose any content there. The content is arranged according to device. No need to have a scroll menu so that you can scroll left and right, something like. Automatically, they will be adjusted to next row slide. So that's what exactly the grid system used by Bootstrap. So because of that grid system, you will have that responsive design. Then in this Bootstrap, so what are the different classes provided? First, we'll start with container classes. What are container classes? How many classes are there? What is the difference between them? Then we'll see a Jumbotron. Jumbotron means the previous page you have seen. Uh, like I'll show you again. So that's what exactly Jumbotron. That gray color box inside my first Bootstrap is something we call it Jumbotron. So Jumbotron in the sense generally whenever you take any textbook at the introduction of chapter or something, they will create a gray color box. So table of contents, a one paragraph, single paragraph describing the things. So like that, while writing any page, if you want to have any Jumbotron, we can create there. So how to work with. Then typography, you can do. CSS you have to do manually. Width, height, background color, text alignment, everything you will do. But in Bootstrap, there is a class selector called Jumbotron provided. So what I can do class equal to Jumbotron. Automatically that settings will come. So that's what, no need to write all these. How can we choose color? If you want to change the color, then you have to use CSS. They will provide a template. So these Bootstrap, what they are doing, they are providing a template. If required, you can use as it is. If you want to customize it, then you add your own styles there. And you should not use CSS. I can use CSS in Bootstrap also. I can use it so that I can have my own colors. We can do. We can use the built-in classes there. Otherwise, you can customize them. Both can be done. So how to start programming? We'll start the things from the tomorrow session. Okay, na? Clear today's topic?